Where are we, Bindi? When you're so excited, you gotta take a shit. Did you do this, ma'am? In the middle of the store? How could you? How could you do that? In the middle of the store, ma'am, really? And now she had to do a pee, because of course. Ma'am, what do you have to say for yourself? First a poop, then a pee. What do you have to say for yourself? Come back here. How could you? Stop avoiding the camera. Tell us what you've done. Speak for your actions. Look at how cute you are. Did you have a bath? Yes, you did. And so you're under your blankie. So, quick reading update for The Goldfinch, which is the book I'm currently reading, if you didn't watch my last vlog. I am a little over halfway through. We're making some progress. I think I can give a bit of a better explanation of what this book is about. So basically, it's about this kid, Theo, who is at an art museum with his mother, and there's an attack. A couple bombs go off, things are crazy. Theo obviously survives, but his mother does not. And he also comes away from the attack with this painting called The Goldfinch. And basically this painting gives him a lot of anxiety because he basically stole the painting. But his mother dying sets off a series of events in his life because he only lived with his mom, so they have to figure out a whole bunch of stuff for him. And yeah, that's basically what it is so far. We're seeing how this tragedy of being in attack, losing his mother, having this painting, all of it just weighing on him and impacting the decisions that he makes. It's good so far. I'm enjoying it. However, I really don't think it needs to be as long as it is because there's already been portions that I think could have been edited. Sorry, Donna. I mean, whomst am I to say? Donna is the one with the Pulitzer Prize winning book here, not me. But yeah, those are my thoughts so far. I think it's definitely got that literary fiction vibe where you're reading, you might not exactly know where it's going or what the whole point is, but I'm guessing at some point I'm gonna be hit with something and it's gonna be even extra meaningful. But right now I am just enjoying Theo's story. I am listening to this on audiobook, who's shocked? But I feel like that's the way to go for this one because one, the audiobook narrator is really good, and two, like I said, it is very long and in my opinion a bit overwritten, so I think kind of takes away some of the aspects that would be extra boring if I was just reading this. Ooh, look at this angle. Yeehaw. Can you see my boogers? I'll hide them. Here you go. Ooh, look, it's an artsy shot of the goldfinch. I do think Donna's writing is pretty good so far. I think she does a really good job at giving Theo not only a young person's voice, but also writing so that you can see how the things that happened to him in the beginning of the novel continue to affect him, but in a very subtle way. I don't know, it's good so far. I mean, it won the Pulitzer Prize, so it has to be at least kind of good, right?
3 days later.
So I finally finished The Goldfinch. I'm giving it a 3.5 star. It was a very gorgeous book. Let me start out by saying that. The writing was beautiful. The way the story was laid out was very well done. The last line of this book really punched me in the gut. It really brought home how a tragedy can cause a series of events and how you can never see that path, never know where it's gonna take you or how it's going to change you as a person. I really loved the way that Donna captured how important Theo's mother was to him. On that note, I really related to Theo even before he loses his mother, which happens in the very beginning of the book and spirals everything. Even before he loses her, he talked about how he would count down the minutes until she was supposed to be home from work and start freaking out whenever she was late because he was worried that something would happen to her. And that was totally me with my mom. Like, I remember when she would like leave for work, I'd be like, I wish she didn't have to go. I don't want anything to happen to her. My biggest problem with this book and why it is at 3.5 stars is that it's just way too long. This is like an 800-page book and it really does not need to be. It could have cut off like maybe 200, 300 pages. I just don't think all that detail was necessary. I didn't connect with Theo or any of the characters to want to spend this much detailed time with them. I'm definitely a very character-based reader, so if there were more characters that I could have fallen in love with and rooted for, perhaps it would have been fine being this length, but because I didn't have that strong connection, and I was just wanting the book to hurry up and get to the point. The middle just really slogs, especially compared to the intriguing action that happens in the beginning of the novel and the end of the novel. So I definitely see why this is beloved and why it won the Pulitzer Prize. I just think for me personally, it was too long, could have been cut down a lot. Hello, Angel.
But the hamsters are $17.
Are you a golden doodle? Hi.
Get that tail, Mom.
Hi, baby. You're so sweet. You sure are. You're so sweet. Oh my God. You are so cute. You are so cute. Look at you with your little blankie. Oh my goodness. You're so cute, Miss Bindi. Did you know that? Hello, party people. So it's been a hot minute since I just sat down and filmed a little talkity talk clip. I haven't really been vlogging. I haven't been really humaning. I'm in this weird place where I have finished school, and so I don't really have that structure in my life anymore. Even though I was an online student, it still gave a structure to my day because I'd wake up, eat breakfast, do my schoolwork, then have free time. But now it's just like there's no structure to anything and I don't know how to handle it. So I'm just at this weird point in my life where I don't really know what's going on, what's happening, and how to function as a normal human. I thought I would just be really on my reading game, but I've been binging a lot of stuff on Netflix and then just doing a whole lot of nothing. So up until this point, the only book I had finished was The Goldfinch, and part of that was because it was like really long. But a couple days ago, I finished a book in one day, one sitting, so it felt really good. And that is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pinborough. This is a psychological thriller that follows this woman who has a sort of fling-ish almost with her boss, and then finds out that he's her new boss the next day, and also that he's married. And so she has this like weird sort of thing going on with him, and then she bumps into his wife on the street and they end up becoming friends. And it's this really interesting dynamic of still wanting her husband but also wanting to be friends with her. We get a lot of weird chapters here and there, especially from the wife, and you're kind of like, what is really going on? And so on that note, it was really interesting, and the book as a whole, I enjoyed most of it, I would say. Who the fuck is yelling outside? Oh my God. I thought this was really hooking. Like I said, I read it in one sitting because I just needed to know what the heck was going on. So from that point as a thriller, it does a really good job at hooking the audience and making you want to know what's happening and making you want to know how this is all going to end. But the ending is where I'm not sure how I feel. We finally get the big reveal at the end of this, and I was just like, huh? I was just expecting it to go in a different route than it did. I really can't talk about it without spoiling it. But basically, it has an element that most psychological thrillers do not, and I don't really like this. So my memory card filled up and then I had to go. Love that for me. But I think I was saying that there was an element in this book that is just not typically in thrillers, and I don't really like when it's an element in a thriller unless I kind of know that going in, like that's a plot point, which is obviously super vague, but I don't want to give away any spoilers. I didn't hate the ending, I just didn't prefer it. It definitely did take me by surprise though, and I was sitting there like, oh, what the fuck did I just read? I also think part of that twist would have been better if it wasn't revealed in the way that it was. It was just very fast. And I think if we had just stuck with the first half of the twist just for like even 5 more pages or so and then gotten the second bit, I think it would have been even more shocking. Overall, I enjoyed it. I would read this author again. I gave it 4 stars. So we're playing this weird game of the draw game where you guess. This was Darth Vader watching TV in a castle. The other team had Kim Kardashian fishing in a swimming pool. Look at her butt! I don't know if I updated to say this, but the other day I started Michelle Obama's book Becoming, and I just finished it. The tears are kind of gone, but there was a lot of tears. My face is very red because I was crying. Basically, this book is just her memoir. It starts at the beginning, talking about her life growing up, where she went to school, her relationship with her family members, all of that. And it finishes at the end of Barack's last term, so 2016. Early 2017, aka the worst moment of our lives. It was so good. I listened to it on audio because obviously I wanted to hear Michelle Obama read it to me, and it was just, her life is just so fascinating because she really came, I don't want to say from nothing, but she was at a disadvantage. You know, she was just an ordinary person. Her family wasn't like rich or anything. She just worked really, really hard, and her mother fought for her, and I'm gonna get emotional again. She's just such a genuinely amazing person. We really don't deserve her. I loved learning about her life. I loved learning about all the initiatives that she started while Barack was in office. It's so funny to hear her talk about politics because it was really never something that she wanted to be a part of. But then she married Barack, and Barack was like, I'm gonna be senator, I'm gonna be a president. I don't know, it just made me so emotional, especially at the end. I was just freaking crying. I don't even know what to say, but that it was so good. I don't see how anyone could read this book and come away not just being in awe of her, because she's an incredible person. So yeah, obviously I'm giving this book 5 stars. I think it was just such a well done memoir. It was really well paced. The sections of her life, and then like political spears leading up to the election, and then the time in office. It was just really well put together as a memoir as a whole, like putting aside that it's Michelle Obama, this goddess of a woman. It's just amazing. 5 stars. Read it if you haven't listened to it, if you can, because it's always great listening to the author read their own story. But yeah, I'm going to end this vlog here now. I have no idea what footage I've gotten over the last couple weeks. Probably hasn't been the best vlog. Sorry, gonna try to do better as we move on. I'm trying to get out of this weird slump that I've been in since the new year. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.